Hi, the last question I have here to answer, I've done about 5 or 6 so far, is um, how do we introverts deal with the anti-introvert backlash that's seen nowadays in some posts and in personal interactions, when you're kind of being told that you should get over feeling so unique and so special and to stop being so oversensitive? Sure, that's quite a big one, and I'm not sure that I can answer all of the components of that, but I want to start off by saying, hell's great. I think we need to just pause and just congratulate ourselves that if introverts are being acknowledged, firstly, and being seen as unique and special, secondly, then some people who've done a lot of important work have had an impact, like Susan Cain and her talk, The Power of Introverts. If you haven't watched it, of course, watch it, and she's got a great book called Quiet. And the reason that she wrote that book and gave that talk is that she was finding, particularly in Western culture, North American culture, that the dominant expectation of behavior was extroverted behavior. So there was a bias towards qualities like being talkative, expressive, light-hearted, sociable, and forceful and focused and direct and dominant, and that those qualities were selected for, particularly in leadership positions, in order to be successful, whereas these qualities, which are more introverted qualities, were seen as kind of a less desirable and weak. So if we are in a place where people are saying, ha, pretty flower, you are reflective and observing and analytical and empathetic and concerned and quiet and all of that stuff, and you're so special, then I think some progress has been made. But as you say, like any pendulum, if there's a counter reaction now, how do we deal with that? Well, I think the way to deal with that is through genuine, safe, responsible and respectful communication. So I think that any extrovert could do very well to understand what it means to be extroverted, so what it means to be operating in their preference and what the impact of that is. And any introvert should understand what it means to be introverted, what it means to be operating in their preference, and what the impact of that is, because neither are good or bad and neither are right or wrong, both are powerful, but when brought together the combination is even more powerful. But not if there's a disrespect and a kind of mine's better than yours is better than mine approach. So how do you deal with it? I think by admiring what's good in the opposite energy, in the opposite quality, but doing so in a way that's respectful, as opposed to accusatory, which you see a lot of. So there's a dual responsibility as introverted energy. It is to advocate for your energy, but also not let it be a license or an excuse for things that you can't do. I've been using the word energy and preference very intentionally, because the model that I use, those color cards that I just gave you, but certainly the ones that Myers-Briggs is based on, is all based on the thinking of the Swiss psychologist Carl Jung. And the reason he came up with the terms is because he believes that the purpose and the process of life is to be able to assimilate all aspects of yourself to become individuated, which means that you are constantly on a journey of personal development to become an integrated version of yourself. And that means integrating what he believes to be the subconscious opposite aspect. So if you are introverted in preference, you have an extroverted unconscious aspect, and things that are subconscious we tend to spot in others and say, oh, that's not good, because it's a part of ourselves that we haven't fully integrated, and the same in reverse. So there's that dynamic that's happening, and it is in our own interest from a personal development point of view to be able to integrate both that energy, extroverted energy, into ourselves internally by embracing it in others and learning about others. And the way to do that is with respectful, gentle conversation. If that's an interesting perspective for you, I'd love to engage more, make another video on examples of what the conversations could look like between the introverted color energies, and the extroverted kind of energies, what the actual dialogues could be, to be able to gain some understanding. I could do video versions of some exercises that I do in my workshops if that fascinates you, but maybe I've just given you a taste on my perspective, and I'm very curious on your feedback. Thanks.